Good afternoon. This is Kathleen, Skylight Tarot. Welcome to our Sunday mini readings. And how is everybody today? Hi, Teeny Trinkets and Tarot. I'm glad to see you here today. Welcome to our Sunday mini readings. Let me turn my mute on. How is everybody today? I was watching videos earlier. I've been watching videos for about a week because I was taking a little self-care sabbatical. So, hey, Debo. And hello, Snow. Nice to see you in here. And let me flip my... Anybody that has questions, if you'd like to go ahead and post them in caps, a couple hearts in the front so I see them better. I'm solo today. Dean is busy working with Shar over at Charlie's Angels this afternoon, and Sharon has beautiful weather in BC and is out taking a really long, well-needed ride on her bike, which I don't blame her. So my soul's with her on the back of the bike, enjoying the ride in the country. And I don't know if anybody's been to BC. It's beautiful there. So, how is everybody? Hi, Connie B. How are you doing? Congratulations on almost getting that editing done in your book. I saw that you were on chapter 24. I'm sure it's like chapter 25 or 26 now. You're almost done. I can't wait till it goes to the publisher. So I know you're going to do fantastic on that book. I can feel it in my bones. And hi, Sherry. How are you doing? And Dennis is sending his love. I can feel his energy around me today. And let me see if I can... I'm going to scroll up and see if I've got any questions in here already so I don't miss anybody. I had this feeling that Sharon's on her bike and listening. Hey, Kelly. How are you doing? Got your question. Oh, you're finished, Connie. Oh, great. Congratulations. I want my copy. Okay. I can't wait to read that book. And you know me, I read a lot. For somebody that's dyslexic, I read a lot. I know my daughter wants a copy of the book too. Oh, good question, Carrie. Gotta get my mouse working here. And hello, Patty. How are you doing today? Oh, be careful with that grocery store, Patty. I went the other day. I thought I spent about $150. $288 later. I hadn't been grocery shopping in about 3 months. We both grew up in snow country where we got snowed in and we were far from town. And so my husband and I have always kept really good stores and stocks of food in the house. And plus, there's just the two of us, and we have a freezer full too. Oh my God, I thought I was going to about die, and I didn't even make it to Costco. I just sort of scratched that off the list because I'm going to spend $300 at Costco just, shopping. And of course, all the pretty little things you find in all the aisles in that store, it gets a little dangerous. So, wow, I just like, I about died when I was just picking up staples, canned goods, and my pantry was just starting to deplenish, and cornbread and junk food for my husband, which I don't usually buy a lot of, but they had all the junk food on sale, potato chips and stuff like that. I don't eat, but he does. So I sucked him on a lot of that kind of stuff, which is, but I couldn't believe when that checker hit total, I about died. And usually all I buy at the grocery store is just fresh produce, and I'm a vegetarian, so I go weekly for that for that kind of stuff. But oh my, I did get this beautiful, beautiful. I was at Home Goods, and way on the back of the top shelf, I could even see this. I just saw this glow of pink coming from that visionary thing I do that's sort of weird. So I reached back in the back shelf to see what it was that I could see this pink glow coming from. And it was just beautiful rose quartz crystal. It's just like $16. They get new stones in at Home Goods. If you have a Home Goods near you and you want to get different types of crystals and geos, they have some beautiful ones. They have some of these blue, beautiful blue geodes, and I fell in love with one that was an amethyst geo that was probably twice the size of this, but they wanted $34 for it. And after being at the grocery store, I decided I'd probably better be good and pay the rest of my bills before I start buying too many goodies. But oh my. Yeah, Sharon, I will send you a link if you want to join me. No pressure. I know you're just enjoying the great weather. I think we're hit in the upper 60s because I was sitting outside and I ended up coming in and actually putting shorts on because it's so warm out when I was sitting in the sun. But yeah, Central California has warmed up. And I was actually wearing yoga pants and I was like, oh my gosh, it was really hot. So hello, Shannon Lee. Shannon, if you have a question, oh, yes, I see your question. Never mind. I will just add it to the list. And hello, Falsies. Royal Tarot. I love that name. I think it's so funny. And let me send an invite to Sharon, just in case she wants to join me in a little bit. I love reading with Sharon. I know everybody loves Sharon. Okay. Come back here. Okay. Oh, take your time, Sharon. Enjoy yourself. If you don't make it, totally understand. I'd be out there on my bike if we still had one on the back of it. Anyways, I don't ride. I ride on the queen seat. I don't drive the motorcycle. I have multiple sclerosis, so I jerk a little bit. And yeah, not a good thing to do, and get little spasms going in the arms. Yeah, I'd probably take the bike down. But I love riding. My husband and I go up in the country in the Sierra Nevadas and up we're just below not Yosemite. Well, Yosemite is just 40 miles down the highway, but it's what is the park there? It is Yosemite. It's the backside of Yosemite. It's beautiful up there. And we love riding up there and up by the lakes and stuff. Oh, yeah. Take your time, Sharon. Enjoy yourself. Totally enjoy your day. And then if you didn't catch our morning show, our spiritual show, Dean and I this morning, please get a chance, go back over to Hermit's Corner and catch that. And Char joined us about halfway through the program. Dean's not joining us today. It has been, we did our morning show, then he had a show with Char and Brenda this afternoon on Charlie's Angels channel. So 3 shows in one afternoon. He has a lot of reading. So, anyways, I will catch up with him later. And Kevin, I think, had a very booked weekend this weekend. So he's doing his readings and his private readings and resting up from his weekend. He's still working on the weekends, I believe, and so we'll catch up with him on another time. And yes, do drive safe. And I'm just letting people come in. Yeah, Kevin is famous now. Yeah, he is. I love Kevin to death. He is my little brother from another past life. I absolutely love Kevin to death, and he is a fabulous reader. And yeah, if you haven't, Kevin and Mel are doing that Thursday show now together, and really like their energy together. They really had fun. I remember trying to throw him under the bus to Mel to get Mel to notice him, and Mel noticed him before I got to throw him under the bus. And he's like, "Oh, I've already reached out to Kevin. We're in the talks of collaborating." This was several months ago, so it took a while for them, for them to catch up with each other. But I knew they were just gonna really click together. Really like their energy together, though, and wonderful programming and blessings to Kevin. He's doing a fabulous job, and I know he's picked up a ton of subscribers. I think he's over 2,500 now, and congratulations to him on that. I know he's really booking his private reading calendars out there, and wonderful. He's a wonderful reader. If you're looking for a really good reader, I would highly recommend Kevin. Sharon too. Sharon does private readings as well. Just go to her website for her email address, and totally beautiful readers. And of course, they both read for me periodically, but we all read for each other. So Sharon, just absolute fabulous reader. So is Kevin. Kevin gave me the most amazing reading when we first met. He called me one day and he says, I just have a message, if you don't mind me reading for you, from your mom. And then he said, he told me about the last 3 months of my mother's life in details, as if he was sitting by her side the whole time. Absolutely no way he would have ever been able to pick up on any of that. Because he didn't really know me. We had just met, and this was like, we had met in the chat. We just chatted back and forth, and we're, anybody that's watched us, we did too, read in the background together, and we were like posting simultaneous readings, which is sort of funny because we do that a lot. We get a lot of the same hits at the same time. It's really fun working with them because we are so connected. But yeah, amazing. Yeah, if you want to read with them, I also do private readings, and you can contact me at godlighttarot333@gmail.com if you want a private reading. I only charge $50 per reading, and right now I've opened my calendar up for the rest of this month and through March. I hadn't been booking because I thought I was going to have second surgery, which isn't out the window yet, but I don't go back until next month to get reassessed for the second vascular surgery. It's not going to be simple like the first one I had. It's going to be a actual. If we decide to go ahead with it, it's going to be I'm going to have 2 veins replaced in my leg. So it's not going to just be a few stents. I have a pretty severe blockage, and I'm really opting for that because I'm afraid I'm going to fall and hurt myself or break a hip or something, which isn't a good thing. And I have a fear of, because of my multiple sclerosis, I stay in as best shape as I possibly can. I do yoga. I do a lot of strength exercises to keep my balance and keep my muscular strength. And I have a real fear of ending up in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, just from losing the function of being able to walk, which is, I'm really high risk at with multiple sclerosis. And I've had several weeks throughout the years where I actually lose my ability to walk for a week or two and have to retrain and re-strength building. If I have a, a, a bad relapse. And it's scary, the idea of, it's I even refuse to use my walker. I mean, I have one, but there are occasions that I do use it, but I really want to stay as mobile as long as possible. So I do everything in my power to stay out of that. I mean, to take really good care of my health, my blood sugars, and because I'm also diabetic, and just really work at keeping in best shape as I can. Because I don't want to have any problems. So losing circulation in my right leg. My leg is numb all the way to my knee, which gives me a higher risk of falling and things. So, a little scary, a little scary. And after this, I don't know if anybody else has had vascular surgery. After the first surgery, I thought they shredded all my veins and my muscles. They hurt so bad. And what it was is they were restoring the blood flow that I had lost from the blockages. And so all those veins were pumping back up with blood flow that they hadn't had for quite some time. Oh, it was painful. And it's taken me, well, I had it done a little over a month ago, and it's taken me up until about last week for that pain to finally stop where the circulation is restoring. But I regained all the feeling in my right leg completely. In fact, I have very little neuropathy, and they always told me all the tingling and everything was the neuropathy. Well, no, it was a circulatory problem. So I was really glad to get that done. It was painful, but I survived it. And so, I always say if you're having problems with your circulation in your legs, your ankles are swelling, your feet are turning a little purplish blue, oh, get in and talk to your cardiologist. They'll do tests to make sure there's no problem. It's not worth the risk. So, and we got more people coming into the room. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Shirley, it's just part of getting old. As I tell my husband now, it really sucks to get old. It's catching up with me, and I haven't even hit 60 yet. I got a couple more years. But I'm a type 1 diabetic, and so that kicks in about 10 years early. So I'm getting some early complications. It sort of rushes it. But anybody else have any questions? Go ahead and add them, and I will catch them on the way through. I stopped at 1:53. I'm going to go ahead and start with the questions. The first question is from Kelly Shockley, and it is, should I reconnect with my mother? I'm hearing yes. I don't know what the issue is with you and your mom, but I do think it would probably be really good for you with all the different changes you have going in your life. And I will throw cards on that. I think she's missing you. And we can't have enough family in our life. And if there's any conflict, you can work through those past conflicts or anything. I think it'd be really good for you to reconnect with your mom. I don't know the circumstances. Excuse me. I have a bit of a cold from my trip to Bakersfield a couple of weeks ago. I've been having a hard time shaking that too. Thought it was COVID there for a while, but I didn't have any other symptoms besides the chest cold. Okay, it looks like you're really sort of stressing on this reconnection with your mom. Underneath, I have the high priestess that is representing you. Um, yes, you're moving into a higher level and into your own, and your spiritual strength and your strength as a woman is there. You do worry about this reconnection. I don't know why, but I think you need to definitely reconnect, try to reconcile any differences, understanding of whatever caused the separation. Um, if there's issues that you need to discuss that, you need to work through, open the door and have those discussions. You're both adults, and you can talk openly about how you feel um, about whatever the situation is. But I do think it's good. You are being guided. I get the Hierophant, which is my guide card. You will be guided and protected by your angels and your guides in this process. It's a healing process for you. Um, I'm hearing that yes, this will heal um, your heart, whatever's causing the lack of communication or the disconnection. I think it will heal your heart. I don't know if it what your circumstances was, if you were separated as mother and child, or if you were just a conflict some point in time in your life. Um, I think when you gain that understanding of the whys and the reasoning and whatever happened in that situation, it will allow your heart to heal. Even if you don't keep a long-term connected relationship with each other, it'll allow you a process of healing, though. I do get the moon card. There's um, a shadow behind the moon, but the moon also is lit up by the sun and the stars, and it reflects goodness. So I think this is something that you definitely can work through. It is karmic. It whatever the circumstances that happen between your disconnection, there was something karmic that was meant to be. It was probably part of your soul agreement coming into this world, and her soul agreement. And this is something that when you have those soul agreements and those disconnections in life, it's your opportunity to learn and grow and move above it. So you might want to consider that, because I see that you have the world at your feet. Whatever you decide to do, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be a very wonderful healing process, and it's going to allow you to just be the best you can be in this world and heal. So, of course, it's up to you, and it's also up to her, because you both have to be open to doing that reconnection. But if you choose to do so, I think it'll be a very wonderful healing process for you. I'm not feeling anything negative coming out of it. There may be some conflicted, energy in you, but I think you'll resolve that feeling. Um, I get of course, I get the high priestess, and underneath the high priestess, I get the celebration. So I think you will celebrate this reconnection with each other. And you do have the choice of walking away if you want to. You can say your piece, whatever, and you can always walk away. I'm not feeling like you will, though. I feel like you're gonna face whatever it is that caused the disconnection, to reconnect. And I get the Two of Wands, which is your choices. And look at that path between those wands and the sun shining through. I think it's going to be something very, very positive for you. I think you've spent a lot of time reflecting on this for a long time, and what to do about this. So, you've consulted your higher powers and your energy. So it's at a point that this is your decision. It's something that you can do if you want to. I think it will be good for you if you choose to do that, though. Blessings to you, Kelly, and let me know how things are going, and I still see that baby coming back into your life. So let me know when that happens. But I love you, Kelly. Keep in touch, and best wishes to you. I think it's going to work out. I feel really good about it. I think it's going to be very, very healthy for you. I know you've had a lot going on this year. Very busy year, but you're a beautiful person, a very bright, strong person, and you've got this. So, and let's see. Delete these so I don't accidentally repeat them. Our next question is from Carrie G. Hello, Carrie. It says, hi, Kathy. When will oil and gas prices drop? Soon, I hope. I think Biden is working on that. I've heard there's some issues with some offshore drilling in the Gulf of Mexico that he's sort of under scrutiny for right now. I don't know how true that is. I haven't really looked at it. That could help with some of the oil and gas prices. I don't understand why it's so hiked up. I think it's the industry that's keeping it hiked up. I think some of the stuff that happened prior to Biden coming into office, everything, with transportation costs, gas prices, and all that, everything's high right now. Everything. I know my daughter was telling me her electric and gas bill this last month, and she's in on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. It doubled this last month. She said she got the bill. It was literally double what it was the month before. She about had a heart attack. I'm like, oh, well. I told my husband, when we move, we might be putting solar in so we can afford the electric bill and the gas bill. But plus, I think we need to put solar in just to save money in the end. Let's see what we get. Will the prices of gas be coming down? I'm going to ask in the next 3 months, see if we get anything positive. I'm feeling like they will drop some by summer. Well, I get the emperor, which sort of makes me think of OPEC, who's controlling the industry and controlling those prices, and they want to have the pie in the sky. That there's greed and avarice. They've been making record money on gas and oil for the last few years. I mean, unbelievable money on gas and oil, and they set the prices too pretty much. So we're sort of stuck with what they set it at. I think like everything in the economy, as things start stabilizing, I mean, the job market's up, people are traveling, they're making more, they're making more money. I think that will help bring some of those prices down. When shipping and receiving gets a better flow, being this isn't coming in on our offshore, on our supply chain, but that can highly affect the prices of fuel as well, because of the amount of shipping that's happening. So, I think over time our economy will start balancing out more. In the coming months, I think through the summer and then into the third quarter, I think we're going to see a lot more balance. So hopefully that will bring the prices down. they do have options to do this. Right now, they're just not choosing to. They're running on blind faith that, they're going to get as much money as they can while they can get it. But I think Biden is putting pressure on them to try to get prices lowered. I really haven't heard anything politically about it, but I think they are trying to work on getting that done. I get the King of Pentacles and us with our cups half full. Pulled 2 cards, came out on this one. I do think that, it is a greed issue. They make all kinds of excuses why they can launch these prices higher. Oh, somebody sneezed and spilled a tablespoon of oil. Ooh, we must hike the prices. Money they have. I mean, the amount of drilling they have just between my house and Bakersfield. I hadn't been down that highway in about a year. And because I had to go pick up my sister, I went down where all the oil fields are going into Bakersfield rather than just going down the 99 corridor. And I think they've quadrupled the amount of oil pumps they've put in there. I couldn't believe the amount of wells that are in now. It looks like grasshopper fields of locusts. If anybody's ever seen an oil drill, they always look like grasshoppers to me. But they're just running full steam ahead, and they're still putting more in. I was just floored at the amount of wells that they've drilled in this last year. Having not driven that way, it's an ugly drive too. So try not to drive that. It's a lot faster going down the 99th quarter. But I do see us moving forward in success. So this is the closest thing to a yes card I have. Of yes, I think prices will start tapering down. I don't see them plummeting really fast. I don't see them dropping down to $2. In California, in my area, the gas prices are running about $2.20, or I'm sorry, $4.20. I know they're a lot cheaper in the Midwest and of course in the South. And they vary. I don't understand. I know when I was in San Francisco a few months back, gas prices were well over $5 an hour, closer to $5 a gallon, closer to $6. I mean, I just don't know how people that live in those areas, not only can they afford housing, but those prices are just like, oh, I couldn't imagine, the prices they pay in Europe for fuel is just outrageous compared to what we pay here in the United States. I do get the Hierophant, so I think we will get some success of getting some of these prices lower. I don't see them cutting them in half, though. I think they will just slowly trickle down a little by little. Hopefully, we'll get at least to the $3 a gallon price in California, in my area, which would mean that you'll be at $2 or so in the rest of the world. That runs more true to the gas prices in that part of the world. But I do think they will come down some. I don't see a great big huge drop though. Got the World card and the Fate card and the Moon. So yeah, there is some positive action going that way. So hopefully soon, hopefully that will start tapering down some. The prices of everything have just escalated to the point of ridiculous now. I did get fortunate enough to see something that I had predicted in my 2020 and 2022 predictions is excuse me, my neighbor a couple houses down was out talking to he works on commercial refrigeration systems for packing houses and industries, and he's been doing it for years. High demand. He's worked for this company for a number of years. Was laid off due to COVID and all that, and then brought back on as the manufacturer shut down and then they opened back up. And I heard him negotiating with his boss. He was on the cell phone and had it on speaker so I could hear it from my house. And he was negotiating his wages, and the guy was offering him like $48 an hour or something like that, which he agreed was pretty decent salary. It was a good offer, but he had a problem with it because he wanted to pay him on a salary rather than on an hourly wage. And he says, I will take the hourly wage. He said, but I want to be paid hourly because you're working me 60 to 80 hours a week or more, and I'm on call 24/7. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to my family. Uh, I want a better benefit packet. I want profit sharing. I mean, he had a whole negotiation going on. He says, I'm a good worker. I'm in high demand. So if you want me, you will compensate me for my work. I'm not going to work for a 40-hour a week salary and give you 80 to plus hours a week. And I was like, yay. Great to see people standing up for what they're worth and putting those kind of terms, because I remember when they bought their house, because they moved in about the same time we did. New babies, new wife, pregnant wife, had another one coming, and beautiful people. But he was gone all the time. I mean, literally, he'd come home, he'd be home for a couple hours, eat dinner, and then he was gone again half the night. And then he'd be home again. I mean, it was just nonstop. And he had a service truck at the home 24/7. So, and he never left in his own personal vehicle. He was always driving the service truck. Well, when he left during COVID, they've taken the service truck. So now he goes and picks up the service truck. He no longer brings it home. I think that's by choice. So he's not quite as easily available. But yeah, I think people are starting to one, step up for decent salaries. They're leaving low-paying jobs. They're demanding higher salaries. They're negotiating higher salaries. I think it's an employee's market right now. And if companies want to bring in good, qualified, educated employees, they're going to have to start paying them for it, because I don't think any of us are willing to go work 120-hour weeks, be away from our family. You know, COVID, I think one of the best things that happened from COVID, other than we all got stuck at home and lockdowns and stuff, is that people that were working those kind of schedules suddenly were at home with their families, and they realized that they didn't know their own children. They're gone so much that they had lost that connection to their families. And they're not willing to do that now. You know, they've reunited, they've embraced parenthood, they've embraced the working with the kids in their education and their extracurricular activities, and of course the stresses of having been off school and all those issues come up. And I think it's a good thing. So, you know, I think people are saying, hey, wait a minute, no, I'm not willing to work 120 hours a week for bumpkins, or however the phrase is said. You are going to pay me my worth. You're going to pay me for my education. I have student loans to pay, et cetera, et cetera. Cost of everything is quadrupled, it seems like. And we deserve a raise in salaries. You know, our parents in the 70s were making like 4 times what we make now. We're making the same wages they were making 40 years ago, which is ridiculous. You know, and the cost of housing, the cost of groceries, everything is just skyrocketed comparatively to our parents. And I know my parents in the early 70s and the late 60s were buying houses for about $25,000. Now, the childhood home I lived in when my father passed in 82, 81, in December of 81, was on the market. And my parents paid, I think it was like 25 something for it. My mom turned around and from 69 to 72 and sold it for 47,000. That's when we left California and moved to Oregon. That house, when my father passed away, when I was 21 was selling for $450,000. It was just a little 3-bedroom, 1,100 square foot tract home. Basic of basic San Diego tract home. And my mom goes, God, I wish I would have kept that house and just stayed in San Diego another 20 years. Because that was, that was amazing money. I mean, yeah, she had no foresight that was going to happen. And it was just the basic of basic houses. It was nothing super fancy about it. It was in a decent neighborhood with good school system in San Diego, but yeah, crazy. And I couldn't imagine what the house would sell for now. Another 40 years have passed. $750,000, a million. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what housing prices in San Diego for that neighborhood are selling for now. But I mean, wow, So hopefully things will settle down. And let's go to the next question. I know I'm gabby today. Probably as I'm tired. And I've rested all week, and I didn't sleep really well last night. So this is from Sharon Lee, and she says, hello, Kathy. My mom is watching with me for the first time. Her name is Sally. Well, welcome, Sally. I hope you enjoy the program. And she wants to know, can we have a message from Jamie in spirit? I take it Jamie is a sibling or your mother's child or husband. Can you clarify that for me? Hello, Deanne. I'm glad you made it home. Wish my husband would get to make me dinner. He worked in the yard all day yesterday with his buddies. He's really tired today. Message from Jamie. I feel like Jamie's passed a while ago. It's not recent. And Jamie's saying, it's beautiful here. I feel so good. And I'm watching over you both. You can feel the energy when they come to see you. Moves things around the house periodically. A little playful. Does that so that you'll notice he's there, he or she. I don't know if Jamie's a girl or a boy. My grandson's name is Jamie, so I always try to attach boy to the name Jamie, but Jamie's could be either. Hello, Herc. How are you doing? Thank you, Shar. Yes, if you haven't subscribed to Shar from Charlie's Angel Tarot, she's a beautiful reader. What a beautiful soul she has. Absolutely love working with her. Wow. Carries a message of a Knight of Cups, which is love, energy, emotion. Really good energy coming towards you. First card out is the World card. I think he was very happy in this world. This crossing is just, it's a beautiful world on the other side. The crossing was karmic and fated. I don't know how he crossed. I'm not getting an inkling of the reason for the crossing. But it was part of that karmic journey that was meant to be. So if you're sad and mourning him still, or him or her still, then you need to release that, because they're doing beautifully on the other side. There's no pain, there's no illness, there's no trauma in their life anymore. And they're guiding you in spirit. Like I said, they move things around the house to get your attention. Feel that cold chill touching your cheek, or just sort of a little shiver in the back of your neck. That's them. I'm also hearing that they visit you in your dreams too. So when you see them, know that in your dreams, that's real. They're visiting you. And that's real energy. That's one way that spirit can actually visit you, where you can acknowledge them and actually see them again. It's in your dreams. So I hope you're a very lucid dreamer. Remember your dreams, because those are such beautiful dreams when you get loved ones that have crossed visiting you. I do get the Moon card. This is a very positive energy. It's Cancerian energy. It's also represents a Pisces energy, water energy, emotional energy, very intuitive. I feel like you're intuitive. You're feeling their energy around you. It's a very spiritual energy. The moon reflects the sun and brings that light back to the earth. Although there's shadow energy in it. Those shadows are just things that can happen naturally in life, and they can be as positive. They're not, just because something may be shadowed is not negative. I do think that I feel like the crossing was very welcome. I don't know how they crossed. I'm not getting that information. I feel like it's from an illness, though, rather than like an accident or something. Was Jamie sick for a while before they passed? Excuse me. I feel that terrible little cough going here today. I do see that they are in heaven, Hierophant. With source energy. They've risen and ascended to a very high vibration. And it's a very spiritual card. The Hierophant is like the Pope. He's high up in the church. This person was very connected with their soul energy and their faith, and they're in a very good place. And they deliver the sword of truth. And I love this eagle flying above this night. An eagle is a messenger, like a hawk. It brings power and strength energy towards you. Also, the night, wielding truth and protecting you. The night is, a warrior and is there protecting you. I think the energy is very loving, very, very loving and nurturing. Yeah. slide through the chat. Let's see if I get any response from Sharon. Hey, Sharon Sight. Oh, it's your sister and daughter. Referring to her for a boy, I knew it had to have been a girl. Because that's the way it works. I couldn't tell the energy if the energy was feminine or negative, masculine or feminine. Not the male energy is negative. It's not. Touch screen isn't sliding really good. Hello, Tracy Ralph. Hello, Celtic Seer. I'm seeing all kinds of people coming back into the room now. Oh, Shar, you're so sweet. Yeah. I think she's just sending love and protection and, a very positive energy around you. Know that she's there watching over you. Oh, she had asthma. Oh, I can relate to that. That's why I keep on getting chest colds. Sorry. Yeah. Let me go through the chat and see if I have any more questions. Please, anybody in the room that has questions, if you want to post one, we have plenty of time. We've not been on for an hour. Oh, Shar, you're so sweet. I try to live and work in the purest of the light energy. I'm definitely a light worker. Doing a lot of ascension work on the other side, which is really very interesting work. I do a different type of light work than the Reiki masters. Shar is a Reiki master. I'm working with my guide, who is an ancient shamanic Native American from over 5,000 years ago, and they're teaching me a shamanic form of light work that was practiced by the Native American shamans, where it's sort of hard to explain. Where I'm going in, they're teaching me how to heal fractured chakra energy after transition, after we've passed and we've gone through transition in the life review. Any resolved contracts that we've completed and met, that we may have had a fractured heart chakra, or maybe a solar plex damage from injury, or from something that we endured in the lifetime. As we heal ourselves and move through that energy and through the life lessons, sometimes those when we cross and when we transition, there's still fractures in those parts of our soul energy. And so what I'm being taught by my guide is how to do the shamanic light work to help heal those fractures on those who have crossed. I guess I've been doing it for quite some time. It's been probably about 6 to 9 months since I've been shown the work that I'm doing on the other side. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm in awe of my guide. the energy and the things that he's teaching me. Plus, I do the light work on this side, which I've done for a long time. I've been doing it since I was very young, without any like light work training. I've just always sent this energy through me. I'm sure I was guided to do it, because it's very much what I'm practicing on the other side, but much more in depth on the other side than I was doing here. So I've been known to keep a list. It's not a written list. It's a prayer list that I've done since my early 20s, of everybody that has crossed over in my life, and anybody I see on a prayer list, anybody that's needing healing for illness or anything like that. I have a continuous prayer list that I work through, and there's so many names on the list at this point in time. When I'm doing my prayers, I hear all the names like they're supersonic speed. And it's a complete list, so it's really weird. So yeah, it's like, it happens really fast. I mean, I've always done it as long, as my entire adult life. And I think that there's a lot of power in prayer. There's a lot of healing power in prayer. So it's something that I've integrated. And when I was studying theology and sociology of religious studies, when I was reconnecting back with God, sort of have my little falling out, many of us do. And then in my 20s, when I started reconnecting with God and the higher source, it was something I had read someplace, that it helps the rise the vibrational levels and our ascension into heaven. When we send prayers to the loved ones that have crossed, it helps their ascension into a higher level of vibration, and they become closer to God and source. I thought it was so beautiful. I integrated it into my practice of meditation and prayer, and made a habit of it. Gosh, this cough is terrible. But it's just something I do. People that know me know I'm like a chronic meditator, and I'm retired now. So I meditate when I'm washing dishes, and, just simple meditation. I do a lot of my prayer rituals and stuff like that which is a form of, to me, prayer is a form of meditation. It's a connection. It's a connection with spirit. It's a connection with the higher powers. And so it's something I do all the time. It's funny because I have childhood memories of being in my grandmother's house, and I could hear her, I'd be in the next room sleeping, and I could hear my grandmother praying in bed at night. Long, long prayers, just right under her breath, just, constantly in prayer. So maybe that's where I inherited from, is childhood memory, but it works for me. And I always highly encourage people to embrace meditation. Take the time to slow your mind down and just ground yourself and be connected with spirit and nature. It makes life so much easier when you take the time to catch your breath and ground yourself, and get rid of all the excess clutter out of your head. And I hear so many people say, "Oh, I can't meditate. I can't meditate." Everybody can meditate. Meditation is just saying a simple prayer. If you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in doing that kind of praying, a prayer for betterment, a prayer for light energy to the world, is a prayer. It is a form of meditation, and it's a start. I always try to focus on one thing when I'm meditating. I just pick a subject, a topic of thought. And it's funny because that's where I start, and then I'm taken other places. It's just a journey that happens naturally. And the more you meditate, the easier it is for you to communicate with your guides, to hear them, because you're slowing your mind down and you're taking the time to listen. So if you're asking your guides questions during meditation, it's a really good time to be open to hearing the responses, or seeing the clues or the images, however you pick up the messaging. Or it could be as simple as you're driving down the street and you see 333, or repeating numbers, or a sign that keeps on popping in your head and causing your attention, or a song that keeps repeating in your head. Those are all messages from above. So they can be quite beautiful. Gosh, excuse me. I'm going to slide up here and see if I missed questions, because I'm sure we don't have just 3 questions. I hope that resonated with you, Shannon, and your mother. I didn't catch her name. I think you did tell me your name. I mean, it's a Super Bowl. I don't follow football. Herc is saying to everybody, have a great, happy Super Bowl Sunday. Is that this weekend? Next. I don't know when it is. I really don't follow football. I'm terrible. One of our national big sports, and I don't follow it. And my husband's not into sports, which is sort of funny. Which I don't mind, because I'm not a football widow. No, he's more into music and motorcycles and working in his shop. Yeah, Deanne, Shield Maiden is a wonderful newer reader that has joined our family. If you haven't had a chance to watch her, she's a beautiful reader. I'm going to be working with her on some more collaborations. I really enjoy working with her energy. She's making she's reading, doing a lot of collaborations right now, getting a lot of invites. I believe she'll be on with Celtic Sheila. I'm not sure what the date is, but that's coming up. And she's read with Allie and Kevin and I, Dean and I, and she's a very wonderful, beautiful lady. So if you have a chance, go over and check her channel out and like and subscribe. She's building her channel. It's growing quite fast. I think she's going to supersede my numbers faster than I am. It's not a race. It's not a game. It's not a competition. So I'll be reaching out to a lot more of the readers now that life has sort of settled down, and doing more and more collaborations. Hopefully soon. I love working with other readers. I love working with their energy. Charlie's Angel says, still having issues with the Mercury retrograde. If anybody knows about the way the energies that astrology works, Mercury retrograde technically ended on the 4th, but as we enter into a new phase of planetary movement, the energy starts shifting about a week before we come in, and it lingers on about a week to 10 days afterwards. So if you have a lot of Mercury in your chart, or Mercury opposing your chart, I have several trimes of Mercury, which what I've read is really unusual, because I'm a Pisces, to have so much Mercury in my chart. I get hit really bad with retrogrades. My computer system, there was right in the middle of it, Dean and I tried to get on. Well, and those of you that came to try to join us, we couldn't get YouTube to come up for our lives. One of us would come on, the other one wouldn't, and we couldn't get it to record. So we switched channels from Jean's channel to my channel. Same thing, couldn't get it to connect. We actually threw cards on it, and the cards came out that we weren't supposed to read that day. We were supposed to be working on something for the betterment of the world. So we got together with a couple of other readers that were also having retrograde issues. Had a nice little powwow through cards, did some practice readings, and really just reconnected with each other. It was wonderful, and we did that several times throughout the week. Also, we were working on some different spirituality things. Had some major breakthroughs happen that were just wonderful. And I work with other readers. I mentor several readers that I work with and help them on this journey, which I really enjoy. It's sort of my jam on the side, to work with other readers as they're awakening and they're developing their skills and practicing skills, and just having some in-depth discussions about our spirituality. And anybody out there that's awakening that has different gifts, and they're noticing them developing more and more, because right now the veil's very thin and many people are awakening right now. You sort of go through this period of time where you think you're almost going crazy. I can't talk about this other. And that's the one thing. You can't just turn around and talk to just anybody about it, because half your family thinks you're nuts. If you talk about talking to spirit, and if you're raised in a family like many of us, there's a lot of religious stigma that comes with that, which is silly, because working with your mediumships and with your gifts is a gift from God, and we're delivering messages from God. It's not a negative divinity. We're not casting spells and acting as witches. It's so misunderstood by people that don't take the time to learn about what it is we're doing. It's nice when you're first learning to read and you're developing your skills, to have other people that you can talk to, and that you can bounce things off from, and have those spiritual conversations and talk about the different experiences you've had. I grew up seeing ghosts all my life. I'm terrified of the dark, even though now the terror of the dark was always having spirits coming in. And even though I know that when I see ghosts coming and going in my home, and of course I lived in haunted houses too. I'm living in the quietest house I've ever lived in my life, which is amazing. Now I just have a few people walk through periodically. They see my light from reading all the time, and they sort of wander in and ask for help. So I try to connect with them, and if they're needing help crossing due to sudden death, or they didn't realize it passed, I try to do that work. Sometimes they come in, and because I'm going to be doing readings, and loved ones will come in, and knowing that you're going to be in the room, it's really, really funny. And I was talking to Shar the other day, and she was telling me, oh yeah, I have a whole people lining up here because I'm going to be doing a reading later, and they've already come in. I'm like, wow. And they were just out of my line of focus, because I can see spirit energy, and I could feel her mother in the room and other people in the room with her, and her room was crowded, but I couldn't see beyond the camera view. And I thought that was really interesting, because that happens with me. I know when I first signed on this morning, that Sherry Kurt's husband comes to me periodically, and he just had a message of sending her some love, that he was there, and just wanted to let her know he loves her. He's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spiritual man, just wonderful, and he's with her constantly, and I know she hears him. and talks to him. So, but it's neat to get those messages from people I've read. I have several people uh, that I've read for that. Their husbands or their fathers come forward periodically with messages. I have one that is a really dear friend that lives on the East Coast. Um, I'm so connected with her father's energy. And he literally comes in and talks to me and he says, "Oh, give her a call and let her know not to stress. She's under a lot of stress right now. You just need to talk with her." And so I'll call her and say, "How are things going? Your dad's been visiting. He's sending this love and he doesn't want you to stress." And then we'll end up talking for hours. And it's just like it's an amazing connection. And he has that same energy my father has. It reminds me so much of my father. Um, and he just absolutely, she was a daddy's girl, and so was I. So it's that daddy's girl energy that I get from him. Just beautiful soul, beautiful, beautiful soul. And I feel so fortunate to have those connections with people's loved ones, so I can, when I get a message like that, I will reach out. If I have your email and your loved one comes forward, I will reach out to you and let you know that I'm getting a message or a connection. So it's just something I do, and um, it's part of the gift. It's just part of me being a conduit, and passing those messages on to people. And I feel honored that your loved ones would pick me to deliver those messages. So it's very beautiful. Uh, I know there's quite a few psychics that do that as well. Hi, greeter. How are you today? No, I'm not drowning today, Shar. I'm just chatty. I'm tired, so I get really chatty when I'm tired. And I spent all the last week resting like you had advised me to do. And Gritter, did you have a question today for me? I would be happy to read for you. In the meantime, if nobody else has any questions, I will pull let's pull some oracle cards. I always love my surrender cards. I always love the messages from these cards. I always have such pretty messages and great advice. And my guides are telling me I'm supposed to start writing again. So I'm working with Dean and hopefully several other readers for our early morning spiritual Sundays that we've been doing together. My guides have a list of things I'm supposed to be writing to integrate in with that, and I'm also getting a list of different people with different talents, like JJ Parent from Two to Speaks, which I'm going to reach out to and see if she would be willing to come and do some of her beautiful, beautiful meditations. And if you have not, she's a shamanic psychic and light worker, and she does some of the most beautiful guided meditations I have. I mean, just so visual. She takes you into the forest, into the pond, and the water, and just surrounds you with spirit animals. And I mean, just the visions that you have if you just do the guided meditations with her are amazing. And she'll have a whole room, and we'll all, the whole group will be in there, and we'll actually see each other during the, it's amazing when you're in a chat room and you're doing this meditation, and then everybody realizes we can actually see each other through this meditation process. it's quite a neat experience. She's quite a gifted um, uh, woman, and she does some of the most beautiful guided meditations I've ever done. So if you haven't checked out Tuta Speak, it's Tuta Speaks. It's her the name that her guides gave her, and it's spelled like Utah. It's T U. I can't spell TUTAH. I think it is. Tuta Speaks. And her name is JJ. And if you follow Debbie and Karen Sagehiller, you probably have seen her on their channel back when they were doing their programs together a couple of years ago. She did the guided meditations on their channels quite frequently. She's really good friends with Karen and Debbie. But wonderful, wonderful work she does. And highly recommend her as well. We have some beautiful, beautiful people in our community. Absolutely beautiful. Let's pull some cards here. I just would like to cut the deck. This one is Surrender to Worry. I just love these cards. The pictures are just beautiful, front and back. I love the back of the cards too. Love that ray of sunshine. It says, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe and let it out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and the faith in spirit guiding you always. Love that. What a great piece of advice. And the next card is surrender to outdated beliefs of yourself. This is such a beautiful card. That beautiful fall tree. And it says, let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Oh, parent tapes. We all have parent tapes. Then you can own your power and soar in life. It's a joke in our family. My mom was one of those box lecturers that repeat it. But what a beautiful card. Let's draw one more. I'll just split my deck again. Surrender to miracles. And this one's in my heart. The dolphins, the smartest animals in our oceans. It says, be open to the miracles of occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt in your miracle, that a miracle can happen. Oh, that is so true. Miracles happen every day. All you need to do is open your eyes and watch them occur. So anyway, since we don't seem to have any more questions now, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. I want everybody to have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. Enjoy this wonderful weather. Hopefully everybody's having wonderful weather. I know we're coming out of fall now a little bit early. It sort of scares me in California when we start warming up so quickly in February. We haven't quite made it to March yet. I do think we do have some rains coming in the forecast in the next week. And we've been dropping in the 30s still at night. It gets cold here. Not everything's sunshine and rainbows here in California. It's just a mess. And we don't have beachfront property, most of us. So anyways, you have a beautiful Sunday and bless you all. And if you want to reach out for readings, just email me and we'll get you scheduled and booked up. I'm getting much better about getting to my emails right away. And you have a blessed Sunday and love and kisses and remember, follow your heart. Allow your heart to heal. And blessings to you all. You have a wonderful day.